Well, good morning. I'm Michael Leviton. I've written a book called 150 Shards of Light, and I'm reading my way through some of the shards, in other words, the stories that go together to make up this book. Because the thing is that the Bible is the most extraordinary book you will ever lay your hands on. It's got so many stories in it, it's just impossible to put them all out. I've taken 150 and then left an awful lot behind as well. The one I'm telling you about at the moment concerns Nebuchadnezzar. He was the emperor of Babylon, ruled over 127 provinces, and was incredibly powerful for his day. You may have heard of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. That was Nebuchadnezzar, one of the seven wonders of the world. Yes, he was an extraordinary man, but he was very unpredictable as well. How do I know? Because I'm Daniel. Who's Daniel? Well, Daniel was a Jew who got taken to Babylon as a result of the siege and destruction of Jerusalem by none other than Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar decided that he would put together a group of intelligent, good-looking, fit Jews who would then learn the language, a local language, serve him, and presumably get some benefit from all the effort he put in. Well, so Daniel's there advising Nebuchadnezzar because unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. In those days, dreams were very important and taken very seriously. Well, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams, and nobody could interpret them for him except Daniel. So Daniel is called up to advise, interpret a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and he's not going to like it because in this dream, Nebuchadnezzar is going to go mad, and he's going to go mad for 7 years. He's going to go out and he's going to live like the cows and he's going to eat grass. Goodness only knows how he held on to his kingdom, but after 7 years he's restored and gets back to his kingdom. That's the nub of the story. Let's start there. So a year later, Nebuchadnezzar is looking out over Babylon and admiring all his construction done by my mighty power and for the glory of my majesty. Guess what happens? He goes mad. The Bible tells it more graphically than I can. He was driven away from people and ate grass like cattle. His body was drenched with the dew of heaven until his hair grew like the feathers of an eagle and his nails like the claws of a bird. Pathetic, really. However, after the appointed time of 7 years, his sanity was restored and he gave glory to God. Quite an important message for us in there, don't you think? Anyway, I'm still around when Belshazzar, his son, ascends to the throne. He, frankly, is a dreadful man. He holds a banquet and he uses the goblets that have been used in the temple at Jerusalem, not just to drink from, which would have been bad enough, but also to give praise to gods made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. You would have thought he would have learned from what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. Well, as they're drinking, a human hand appears and writes on the wall. I told you I could match Joseph when it comes to storytelling. The message on the wall is, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin. Nobody can translate, not even the astrologers and the wise men. So they're all sitting there looking stunned and scared to death when the queen comes in to see what's disturbing everyone. She remembers that I used to interpret for Nebuchadnezzar and urges the king to call for me. Well, you need to know I am appalled at the way that the king has abused his position in using goblets made for the worship of God to worship his own stupid gods that don't even exist. So when I arrive, I use the opportunity to point out to Belshazzar that he has done a very foolish thing in setting himself up against the Lord of heaven instead of honoring him. He will now reap the consequences. And this is what I told him. This is what the message says. Many, God has numbered the days and brought them to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Perish, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. Well, although I didn't want any of it, Belshazzar commanded that I be clothed in purple, given a gold chain to go around my neck, and proclaimed me the third highest ruler in the kingdom. I know that Joseph was promoted to number 2 in Egypt, whereas I was only promoted to number 3 in Babylon. But I haven't finished my story yet. There wasn't much point to all this promotion, because that very night Belshazzar was slain, and Darius the Mede took over the kingdom at the ripe old age of 62. I would take God very seriously if I were you. Cheerio. See you soon. Bye-bye.